Freaking out, man.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men with power want? More power.
My name is Gianluca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom. I am in shock. I really do. Normally I don't start the show like this. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM. I tell you, today's Sunday. I thought sometimes we reach the bottom. I don't really believe the bottom is going to ever be reached. This is an endless bottom of tyranny. I really want you to listen to the 3 hours of today's show, please. What can I say? First of all, I'd like to start with some good news because, we have to look positive. The breaking news of this week is that the Bundys and all the other volunteers and activists, they were persecuted, arrested, and detained, in my opinion, in prison without even bail, okay? Spent already probably almost 1 year, 8 months or 7 months in prison. They were found, in all counts, not guilty. And we will talk now more into details about that, what means. And there is much more coming on. I also have my friend Ken Rhodes from Michigan that is going to share some of his input. And I need I need somebody really because I'm losing my mind here. Sometimes when I look at this all by myself, I go crazy. And I'm telling you, it is true. And I really want that you don't miss today the final hour of the show. It is unbelievable, but yes, it is believable. In America now, you will be put in jail before even you commit a crime. And of course, we're talking about not even crimes. We're talking about selective enforcement of immigration law. Just listen to the final hour. My friend from Norway, Renzo Celani, he will tell us his nightmare experience coming from Norway to be here at a convention, some sort of a beautiful meeting where they can talk about things that they believe. In this case, what he believes that body can heal. Yes, can you believe that? But guess what? Probably you are an enemy of the state now. If you believe in something like that and you come here to attend the conference without a visa. I mean, yes, the touristic visa is not enough. But meanwhile, we know the double standard. If you come from across the border, whatever border, southern border, if you come maybe from Syria without any type of passport, Obama will take care of you. But if you're a European and you want to do, just some basic things, even if you come with a passport and a regular visa, they will throw the book at you. Meanwhile, they'll treat you like a prisoner, bad, hardcore prisoner. You have to watch the photo, by the way. Go to lovegunsfreedom.com and you will also look at his treated like with a chain and the around his belly and the freaking handcuffs. I mean, like a real bad criminal. Now, let's start today's show. I'm disturbed because at the same time I want to have hope. There is a little conflict to me. I have moments that I really lose it. I say, how can we keep really living in a country where there is no more the rule of law and it's on the open? I mean, this is a banana republic. When you look now into this WikiLeaks and you find about Hillary and you find about Obama, you find all these different politicians that completely, they break every law on the book. Forget about the Constitution. I'm talking about criminal laws. I mean, this is so unbelievable. And by the way, when I say forget about the Constitution, it's a sarcastic way. Okay, I don't say forget. The Constitution is first, should be first. But these people, they don't care. They're perfect, pure criminals. Okay, now the point is, there is a little hope. Seems like the last few days, finally, the FBI somehow reopening the case. Is this part of try to keep us peaceful till the elections? Another deception? Or maybe there is still some hope in this agency? I'm not saying that every agent in this FBI is bad. No, I'm sure there are some decent people out there. The problem that the top level, the real leaders, the real, position of powers, the chief, they're all corrupted. The FBI director is a piece of scum. I hope he can hear me. I don't care. You want to arrest me? Go ahead. You are a piece of trash to go in front of Congress and completely laugh at our laws and selectively enforce the laws. Because, you know, the other general, is risking his ass in jail for much less things than what Hillary is done. And allegedly done, because at that point, I always believe that everybody deserves the trial, but at the same time, at least let's press some charges and let's give the chance to justice to work. Like somehow, this time, thank God, and thank to the American people that they were serving as the jurors, their system worked. So the people in Oregon, that they were all labeled as terrorists, they all labeled so seriously dangerous, they didn't even have a chance to have the basic rights that even a child molester has, okay? Or a bank robber, they give you the opportunity to post bail. These people, they are not even violent. Most of them, they had no criminal records at all. I think probably all of them. So the point is, they were denied even the right to defend themselves from out of jail, to keep their families together, to still have a life, to still see their families, to still keep their work going. No, they were denied their right. So that's right there. It's so disgusting. But at the same time, thank God, and now we will go into more details with my friend Ken, that all the charges for the Bundy's family and, of course, all the other volunteers, activists that were there, they were dropped. Not dropped. They won the case. Okay, forget about that. They didn't drop anything. Sorry about that. I'm confused. So they were innocent. That's the story. Now, Fabio Minoggio, also called John Killman, this FBI informant that I talk about last Sunday show. I feel sorry for you, my friend. I really do. How do you feel today that you were part of a conspiracy against the American people to really throw their ass in jail for a long, long time? When I think you know, and you knew, you're not an idiot. You are a smart guy. You speak several languages, you have degrees. You knew that these people, they weren't bad guys. They may be misled, they may be sometimes a little naive, they may be farmers, they may be not that smart, whatever you want to say, but they're not bad guys. They weren't the sort of a terrorist, violent people. They were just trying to exercise the basic rights to read out loud the Constitution and remind to the federal government, to the rest of America, that the federal government, according to the Constitution, has no right to claim millions and millions of acres of jurisdiction. Okay? But the point, you were part of the plan to try to make him spend a long time in jail. And you were there as a witness just a couple of weeks ago at that trial. How do you feel today? That also you chose the wrong side of history. But more important, I felt sorry for you because there is a man between all this who got murdered. I mean, not only these people spent 7-8 months in prison and probably they got a lot of bills to pay, and maybe they lost their homes, and maybe some of their family members completely disrupted and shocked, especially kids, sons and daughters, thinking about to have, your parent in prison. It is not really good for your emotional development. But think about also Lavoy Finicum, who never had a chance to even to have the day in court. How can you live the rest of your life knowing this, that you were part of it? You told me you were the last one to leave the compound when they locked the gates behind you. Until you were lying to me, by the way. I knew you were. I didn't, of course, have all the evidence that I could say for sure out loud, but I knew. I knew the day I met you, I told you. That took you 7 years or more to finally come out. It was about time. But as I said, I'm not even any type of, let's say, anger against you. I feel pity for you. You have to live the rest of your life knowing that good men and good women out there to try to exercise their American rights, to remind the government that it needs to obey to this contract called the U.S. Constitution, to constrain the government. It wasn't about constraining us. You try to entrap them. You try to put them in prison for a long time, and one of them also got murdered. I always have a question. By the way, you're always welcome on the show. I know you listen to the show, and you told me on text message, just after the Oregon article came out, everybody can go and Google it. Who is John Killman? OregonLive.com. Who is John Killman? Go check it out. You told me you wanted to be on my show, and I want you on my show if you still can, because I really believe I would like to give you your side of the story. Maybe something I'm missing. I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm nobody, but I tell you, I feel sorry for you. That's all I can say. And if you want, please, Mr. John Killman or Fabio, email me. You know how to reach me. You can call me. You got my phone number. and I'm sure my phone number is also under complete let's say, I know the beeps. I know when it beeps and what means when it beeps. I know very well. If I want to speak with you, probably some of your superiors, all I have to do is use my phone and talk to myself. All right, let's see here. Ken Rhodes from Michigan. Ken, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Ken.
Okay. First of all, how you doing, Ken? Number one important news. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing real good, Luca. I'm actually I went up to Portland, Oregon to testify for Pete, any of the rest of them that needed me.
Wow.
But then one day before the trial, they dropped all charges on Pete Santelli, but they did it without prejudice. That means they can bring the case back on him at any time.
Wow.
But then they selected the jury. Now altogether, Luca, they arrested 20-something people. 11 people took plea bargains out of there. And I'm wondering, they had 15 FBI informants inside the compound. So I'm wondering how many of those that they act like they took plea bargains when they really didn't. Maybe they were just informants, and that was their way of getting them out and moving so nobody knew where they was at.
Yeah, this is.
But anyway,
you're right. No, let me ask you something. You're right. In the article on the Oregon Live, they said that besides John Killman or Fabio Minoggio, as the article talks, there were at least another 12 or 13 informants. I mean, that's ridiculous because I don't think there were more than 20 people in prison. I mean, there are more informants than accused. Am I right or wrong?
Well, I think the night they started arresting after they killed LaVoy Fennicum, after they murdered him, then they picked up I think it was 26. I'm not pretty close to that.
Yeah.
But then I'm wondering how many of those were informants.
Exactly.
And they said they cut a plea deal. That way they can get them on out of there and get them back working someplace else for them.
Wow.
Because the American public don't know where they went to. Those are some evil people that'll do what they did, go down there and inform on people. And all they was trying to do was be heard about what the government was doing about taking all the ranchers' land.
Exactly.
But let me explain to you, Luca, the first jury here, they selected a jury. I think they had 4 ultimates. They selected the jury. Then they tried 7 of them on the first leg. Now, no matter how the outcome come out, they're going to try I think it's 7 or 8 left. They're going to try them, but they're going to pick another jury and try them.
Wow.
Next. Okay, now the first 7, Luca, they came in. They got the judge let them put an ex-BLM agent on the jury, and they tried to get him off. And she said we discussed it with him. He said he could be non-partial, blah blah blah. So she left him on. Then he got in the jury room, and obviously they was all saying not guilty. And he said, "I'm biased. I'm not going to let him off without anything." So that was juror number 11. Now juror number 4 wrote a note, sent it to the judge, and said that this guy, they can't work with him. So are you still there?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. I'm shocked. They tried to put an ex-BLM agent among the jury. This is ridiculous. Like during the King George, that they put pretty much the judge is the King George. I mean, that's insane. Insane. Keep going, please.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked you that, my phone beeped, so I didn't know if it was.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's good. They're doing a nice recording of this conversation, just in case I miss one. The federal government has always a backup. Don't worry about that. Keep talking.
Okay, I'll get back on track here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when the judge finally had to dismiss him off the jury, they had to put the trial they had to put it off for one day till the guy, because he was coming from central Michigan, from Oregon. So they brought him back. They brought a new one in, sworn him in, and the judge told him, you got to start the deliberations all over. Within 5 hours, they came out with a not guilty on everything.
Wow.
Except one charge against Ryan Bundy. Ryan Bundy, I was out there when they did. I was out there 37 days, so I know this case very well, Luca. They went up on a pole and took 3 cameras down that the FBI put out there trying to see who was coming and going.
Wow.
And they took the cameras down, so they charged him with theft of government property. That's the only thing that they didn't. I don't know if that was a hung or if they just left that one hanging there. So I don't really know what they can do, about that. That had to be a misdemeanor, I would think, anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the only charge that they didn't dismiss. On all the rest of them, all charges on all accounts, and that means the ones that they even in there with guns. It's not against the law to have a gun in Oregon. So they dropped all the charges was dropped. Now, Mumford, the attorney for Alman Bundy, stood up and told the judge, "You got to release these guys right now. Show me the papers you got that says you can hold them." She said, "No, the U.S. Marshals is going to take. They're going to take the rest of them down to Nevada." But there's one guy in there named David Fry. He didn't have any charges in Nevada. He said, "You got to release him right now." And when he said that, 8 or 9 marshals jumped on him in the courtroom and put him to the ground and tased him several times.
Just because you spoke. I mean, this is seriously. I mean, guys, listeners, regardless where you are on this issue, okay, think about that. This could be applied to anything. Just because you talk to God in their court, maybe in a tone that they doesn't like. I don't even think that. The point, just because you're supposed not even to talk to God, in this case to the judge, about something that also is true. They tase you and they drop you down on the ground like a criminal. And more important, the rule of law. I mean, seriously, if these people they are not found not guilty and there is no other charges pending, there are no other charges pending, they need to be released immediately. And they should be said sorry to them many times because government stole months of their lives, money, emotions, torture. I mean, think about to be in prison is not a freaking Grand Hotel, okay? Go ahead, please.
Look, they stole over 8 months from these guys that just got found not guilty of all charges. Over 8 months.
Yeah.
And almost 9 months. Yeah. Now listen to this. David Fry should have been released right from the courtroom. They put handcuffs on him, and now it gets even worse. Now they took him back toward the jail and beat the hell out of him behind so where nobody could see it.
Who is this guy? Say again the name, please.
David Fry.
Okay, who exactly was one of the accused people, right? David Fry. What is his? Remind me a little bit. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Who is this guy?
He was one of the defendants that got found not guilty of all charges.
Yeah, okay, he's a young guy. I remember that. He looks like a little bit Oriental guy with the eyeglasses. I remember him. David Fry. Yes. Absolutely,
and he's a very nice kid. I met him when I was out there. I met his mom and dad when I went to Washington for a march up there for Lavoie, the one they murdered.
Yes.
So this just keeps getting worse and worse. Now, my thing is they got 7 or 8 more coming up for trial. Now, I think being they had a jury and they found all these people not guilty, I think their attorneys should be fighting, saying you got to release ours too, because if we'd had the same jury, they'd found the same thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something.
Are you there?
Go ahead.
No, this is something out of the blue. The line got completely corrupted, but that's okay. This is true. This is true. But more important, trust me, they will try to even mess up with the jury. Trust me, the devil, he doesn't give up the fight. Okay? They may be kind of, they try. And the point you said before is very scary. Some of these people that they were in Oregon, like for example, Ritzmeier, John Ritzmeier, they pleaded guilty, okay? Now, did they get screwed? Right. Did they get screwed? I mean, think about now, how do they feel now to know that the other people that they faced trial, they were found innocent? I mean, or maybe they were part of something more. I don't know, as you said. I don't think everybody is an informant, but at the same time, I think, can they go back to say, no, I changed my mind? That's terrible. These people, even when you plead guilty, they're going to make you plead guilty of something you didn't do, and your life is ruined. So I don't know. This is kind of disturbing. Go ahead.
Well, I think each one of them got no less than 6 years. And one guy, I think they gave one guy 10 years. Why would you plead guilty when you know you didn't do anything wrong for 10 years?
10
now,
years.
I talked to one of the attorneys up there, and he told me he thought he was going to come back as a hung jury. I won't say what his name was. He said, I think it's going to come back to hung jury. He said, boy, Ken, you know, they're going to offer these guys some sweet deals if that happens.
Yeah.
I said, let me tell you something. These guys ain't going to take no deal. You don't know that. He's all, after they've been there 8 months, they'll all be happy with time served and they plead guilty.
Yeah.
I said, you don't know these guys.
Yeah.
I said, they will not plead guilty. None, all the guys that's left, all the first ones that jumped off and took the plea deals, they're done and finished. You know, I ain't gonna call them cowards. They had to do what they felt was best for them. I would have never taken a plea deal. But now they took it, and they must feel like hell now because they really use what I call jury nullification.
Yeah.
That's where, you know what that is, right?
Yes, but remind to the people, because, you know, it's always good to educate, and, you know, we never finish learning. Maybe there are good people out there that they say, what are you talking about? Maybe I'd like to know more. I mean, I don't expect that every one of us, somehow, we didn't know these things. Remind, please, what is the jury nullification?
That's if you go in, you sit on the jury, and even though if you think they're guilty, that you think it's an unjust crime or time for that crime, you just vote no, that they're not guilty. It's jury nullification. Everybody should look that up. It's very important that if we ever even bring these crump courts just back to that, that'd be a huge leap in our criminal system. Because if everybody knew that just because they're guilty, if you think the crime don't fit the bill, then you don't find you don't find them guilty.
Exactly. This is exactly the last line of defense against tyranny. We, the jurors, have the right and the duty, in my opinion, to not just judge the accused, but also to judge the laws. Let's say tomorrow there is a law that says, you know, every firstborn in America must be circumcised. I don't know, whatever stupid law you may think, okay? And there is no crime. You know that nobody got killed or got harmed just because the government tells you, by the way, you must put a seatbelt. Who are you to tell me what should I put on my body? If I do not harm other people, I should be allowed to do what I want. But there is a law, you say. Guess what? Me as a juror, I can still say that law sucks. That's the simple explanation. So I can also judge the law, and it's our right. That's why this country is very unique. If we exercise all the opportunities, all these, let's say, check and balances that we have, you know, tyranny should never be able to flourish. But if we do not get involved, yes, we're all going to fail. That's very important. Please Google jury nullification. Inform yourself about that. This is one of the most important things. Now, according to an article that I found, occupier David Fry, released from jail, said, I'm really free. Is it finally David Fry out of jail or still somehow waiting to be released? What do you think?
No, he is out. He is out. Look, but look, let me explain. They had such a. I get a little feedback. So they had a very corrupt judge in there before the prosecuting attorney could object to something. She would object to it and sustain it, and the jury got the and all this stuff that she was doing. I said, well, you know what? The jury's going to see through it. I mean, she was wanting to bury, especially Alvin Bundy and Ryan Bundy. That's the two that they really wanted.
Okay,
but
one second.
I think the jury,
Ken, 1 second only. I have problem with the line here out of the blue. You know, when we talk about these things, everything gets crazy here. Let me try to recuperate a little bit of, see what's going on because the line is going down. Ken, now can you hear me better?
Yes, I can.
Okay, me too. I had to do a couple magic tricks here. Something's going on. Anyway, question. Okay, so Mr. Fry is out. Now, what about the other people that they were found not guilty, among those the Bundy's brothers? Are they still in jail or being released? I would like to understand that.
You know, I think only Ryan Bundy and Alvin Bundy are still in jail because the rest of some of them, they did let a few of them out with the tether. Shauna Cox was let out, and I know a couple more that was let out, but they got found not guilty. But I think they're being charged in Nevada also. So anybody who's charged in Nevada that was in jail stayed in jail.
Wow.
Like I know Alvin and Ryan Bundy for sure.
Okay.
The rest of them, they were out with the tether on them. They did let a few of them out, not very many.
Okay.
Now in Nevada, they haven't let anybody out. Nobody's getting out. Here's Cliven Bundy, 70-something years old, and they won't even release him. This guy never did anything in his life but ranch, and an honorable, very Christian Mormon guy.
Okay, and this is exactly my point, Ken. This is the point I would like to say to everybody out there. Even if you think the Bundys are a bunch of crazy and you don't like their beliefs, whatever. The point is, these people never had a criminal record. They don't have a criminal record, period. Now, some of them, also they're older. Some of them, also they really are nothing but, they deserve a bail. That's the bottom line. You don't throw somebody in prison for 8 months just because you don't like him. Because that's tomorrow can happen to you guys, to every one of us that, you may not like the law, supposed to be somehow some check and balances. That's why we have a Bill of Rights. That's all I'm saying right now. Of course, now we've proven, of course, that there was not even a crime. That's another story. How do you feel that all these, government worshipper that, they were so happy when Lafinicon was shot? How do you feel now? That you were thinking that, these people in Oregon at the standoff, they were so evil and criminals, they didn't break any freaking law. Simple as that. You should at least apologize to yourself, not to us. To yourself, because I tell you, people that they still support and allow this government to go out of control and always justify it. Your behavior, your cowardice, your hypocrisy. You're completely worship him like a serf. That's why we are in the state we are. You think you're part of the good old boys just because you work with BLM and you got maybe some hunting permits or whatever you do out there? Shame on you. And whoever's here can listen. The message is for you. Okay, seriously. Now.
Yes, okay.
Go ahead. I'm mad.
Luke, are you talking about that one guy that was an informant there that you knew? What about Mark McConnell? Oh, he come back telling me a story the next day after they shot LaVoy that they had a right to shoot him, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, you shoot. He said, if I was the FBI and if I was an FBI agent, he come at me, I'd shoot him. I said, you shoot a guy with his hands up. If he come after me aggressively, I will.
Wow.
I said, well, I went right back in the room and I told Dev Jordan, I said, he's working for the FBI. Come out in court the other day.
Yeah.
He's working for the FBI. He's the one that led him into the ambush.
Who is this guy?
He's the one that led.
Who is this guy? Give me the name again, please, and let me Google him.
Mark McConnell.
Mark. I like to have him on the show. Mark McConnell. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, let's see his face first of all. Okay, Bundy. Oh, I see his face. There we go. Okay. Interesting. The man who was driving Jeep before Amon Bandits. Oh, wow. How can he go to sleep at night, these people? How can they go to sleep at night, knowing what they were doing to American people? Being accessories of these crimes against us. Video shows 2 cameras angle of a Finnegan shooting. Here we go. There's an article on the always the Oregon Live. Mark McConnell, the driver of the Jeep that Amon Bundy was riding in before his arrest on January 26, was a government informant who was tipped off law enforcement about the occupation leader's trip out of the wildlife refuge. How many silver coins did they get paid, this bastard? I think they do it for free almost, just because they think they're important. Seriously. You think they got paid? I think they just probably get free donuts and maybe, a pack on their shoulder just to feel good about it. They are part of the club. I feel disgusting, really resentment towards these people. They are worse than the traitors. They are really worms. Worms. My God.
Hey, look at that. He got the FBI agent that brought it. He announced his name, and he said he was paid $25,000. But you know what? What good is that money when you got blood on your hand?
No, exactly. Say again. When you were saying the price tag, how much he got paid, out of the blue, the line cut down. This is so almost funny. How much?
They said $25,000.
Wow, 25,000, pretty good chunk for a trader. They're pretty good. I mean, pretty disgusting, but wow. So wow, this is interesting.
But you still got blood on your hands, Luca. And what is blood? That to me, that ain't worth $10 million. Ain't worth $100 million.
I was being sarcastic. These people don't understand. Maybe they do. No money is enough to live in eternity with what you've done. I mean, seriously, your son and daughters, they look at you like you're a freaking traitor. How is it worth it? No money, and somebody died. You got blood on your hands. How do you feel about Lavoy Finicum, Mr. McConnell, Mark McConnell? Seriously, how do you feel about that? You know that the man was a peaceful guy. He may be naive, whatever you want to say, but he was peaceful, and he just raised his hands, and he was driving on the highway. That they had no business to do that. They wanted to arrest him. They could arrest them all at wherever they were going to, the next meeting or whatever. No, that was a complete ambush. Not only stopping him, but watch that video again. I hope whatever is going to be Mr. McConnell and all the other traitors that they were pretty much part of this conspiracy against us, against the American people. They need to watch that video where Mr. Lavoy Finicum was raising his hands and he got shot twice, in front and in the back. Not even a cow, not even a pig deserve to die like that. Not even a freaking poor animal. Seriously, I'm really mad now. I'm very disgusted. So really, guys, if you're listening to the show one day, you will. I know you will. I feel sorry and pity for you. Even I shouldn't, but I do. For your soul. Disgusting. And Mr. Minoggio Fabio, I'm sorry, we play somehow that we've been close to each other for many, many years. I don't know really how much I was part of your plans to be close to me. But I feel sorry for you, my dear friend. How do you feel to know you were part of this and you were proven wrong on top? And on top, you still have the man, Lavoy Finicum, and all his sons and daughters and wife thinking about what you done indirectly because you were part of that group. Sorry. You cannot just say, I didn't pull the trigger. Unfortunately, when you are part of the group, you are part of that. I feel sorry for you. Seriously, I can't believe it. I'm feeling sorry for these bastards. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, look, the reason they wanted to kill Lavoy because he was actually the speaker, and they were going to John Day, and they had 400 people listen to hear him speak and talk about how the government's taking the land, it's unconstitutional, all that. So that was set up to kill him. There was no arrest out there. As a matter of fact, I think they wanted to kill them all. And Mark McConnell had a gun on him, and he had Alvin Bundy in the car and a guy named Buddha. Yeah. I know you remember Buddha from the Bundy Ranch, right?
Yeah. Was there another informant too? Officially, I'm just curious because it's like a soap opera. All these names. What happened to Buddha? Is what got paid off to?
No, he actually. He took a plea deal to testify against the rest of them.
Okay, so it is.
So whether he is an informant or not, I don't know that, but he might as well have been if he's going to turn on and testify against people who took him in.
Wow.
And treat him like a son.
Yeah.
I mean, they treated him like they did the rest of the sons out there at Bundy Ranch.
Oh, I remember that. I remember when he was there. He was always eating like a pig, by the way. Drinking, eating like a king. Okay, his belly was really a Buddha. And, and all this big macho talk, like a special forces, retired crap. He was so full of crap. And I'm sorry that the Bundys, they were so naive and so good to take in their home people that really have no idea. That's the only thing that always freaked me out about them. They were too nice and too naive. Just because somebody showed there and put an act, they trust them with their lives. That was always very concerning. But unfortunately, as I said, Buddha, you're going to live the rest of your life as a miserable rat that you are. And I hope I can see you one day because I'm going to tell you in face. And I'm not even going to get mad. I feel pity for you. You should really look at yourself in the mirror tonight and spit on the mirror 20 times without washing it. Because tomorrow you're going to spit yourself on the mirror again. So don't worry about washing it. And so, Mr. McConnell, I feel sorry for you guys. And everybody else out there. Now, question is, I want to play 1 second a little segment about the attorney, the lawyer of the Bundys, Mr. Marcus Mumford, that he was tased too. He was tased just because he was trying to say something to the judge. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
remind the people what happened.
He's one I told you, the Secret Service threw him to the ground in the courtroom and tased him several times.
Wow. Let me play this audio. Let me play this 1 second. This is a segment from the Oregon Live. I think it's worth to listen. A couple of minutes. Let's see.
So after the verdicts were read, the court said, hey, you're free to go, but the marshals might have something to say about it. So I said, well, if the marshals have something to say about it, let's see what orders they have. Let's see what papers they have that gives them authority to take him into custody again. Otherwise, Mr. Bundy's a free man.
And those marshals eventually moved in. And
yeah,
did what?
They had surrounded me at that point, and so I just turned to them and I said, guys, show me what papers you have. And the next thing I know, they surrounded me, they took a hold of me, and they were talking about how I was resisting arrest when I was simply, they just had a hold of me.
And then they put me your legs.
Yeah, they put me to, they were twisting my legs and put me to the ground, and then they tased me.
How are you physically?
How was I physically?
How are you physically right now?
Well, I'm not a real good-looking guy. I've never been a real.
You know what I mean.
Real,
no, but in terms
hooker,
of the force that they may have put on you.
I mean, hey, I grew up on a dairy farm, so am I used to some rough treatment? Sure. You know.
Do you think they acted appropriately, the marshals?
That's Marcus.
Lawlessness.
Appropriate?
Okay, my point is, the point is just because he asked a question to the marshal, show me the paper, why these people that are found innocent by this court of law, they should be held, they tase him. And they put him on the ground like he was some sort of a criminal, This is insane. I mean, this is out of a 1984 movie. I don't even think they would put this stuff. I mean, what the heck? The point is true. The truth is that the system is controlled by the thugs. I mean, what is their excuse? Ken, what do you think? I cannot find any excuse on this one. This is that shows that they didn't get the result they wanted, like, under King George. So even if the jury says something that that is true, but they don't want like the result, they will do whatever they want. They will keep you in jail, in prison, till they want. Go ahead. I'm in shock.
Absolutely. Look at that. They took him to jail. He had, I guess he bailed out because he was out there the next morning. Now, I don't know if he spent the whole night or if he bailed out right away.
My God.
But I mean, this is an attorney. This is one of them. But that's how they treat each other. If you don't go along, try to help convict your client, you're not going to be very favorable to them.
Jesus.
Because you're up there protecting the system's money, and you're supposed to find your client guilty or get your client to plead out. So.
Wow. No, we
got a terrible system.
At least I don't want to sound like.
Go ahead, Lucas.
I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but we have to. This is something that whatever you're doing right now, listeners, this is a humble local radio show, and I know we reach now many more people through the internet and in other parts of the world. But I beg you, what's happening right now in history in this country, but this is not just America, it's happening to around the world. It is something that we cannot become desensitized. We cannot just be cynical about it, because this is so important. Now you tell me, in the court of law, when we found people that were charged with a crime, they were found innocent. And I want you to start to put that in your brain. Just because an attorney, and this is a guy, he's a very peaceful guy. By the way, he's an attorney. He knows he's not some sort of a thug, okay? I cannot imagine any other way somebody who is part of the attorney board and all this stuff, he knows how to talk to a judge. He was asking a question, please show me the paper why we should detain these innocent people. And you have 6 U.S. Marshals jumping on them like this is like, Jack the Ripper, like some sort of a violent criminal, and tase him. And then, you see what they do. They tase you, say, do not resist. And what do you resist? I'm already on the freaking ground screaming. Guys, this is complete fascism. This is complete tyranny. There is no excuse. Even if you side with the idea that the BLM is supposed to control everything, if you still believe in the rule of law, if you believe in a little bit in justice and in due process, please stop whatever you're doing and think for a moment. We are under tyranny. We are so bad that it's not even funny to think about anymore. This is not a joke. This is nothing to laugh. And now at the same time, we have people like Hillary, who is running around still trying to become the next president, the most corrupted person that I ever found in American history. I mean, I like to study history. And I tell you, I don't think there has ever been so corrupted like this devil and her husband. And this is beyond politics, people out there. Seriously, I don't care now if by the way, she's not even a communist. She's a freaking fascist. She works for Wall Street. She's a corporatist, New World Order whore. That's what she is. So you think that you're going to get your progressive agenda advanced. Wake up. And by the way, I'm not for that. I'm completely the opposite of that. But regardless, I would have more respect for you if you really think, she's a real socialist and, whatever. But probably before even we go into politics or socioeconomics, this woman belongs behind bars. Her and her husband. That's the fact. That's why I have no respect. I need to say it again. I have complete zero respect. If you vote for Hillary, it is not about differences of opinions or politics or socioeconomics. No, you're aiding and helping a criminal to become the next president. So you are my enemy, just to let you know. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to shake your hand. I don't even want to say hi to you. I have zero respect for you. And blood will be in your hands. Not just the American bloods like us, people like us, that we will refuse to obey to unconstitutional executive orders or any type of fascism come out of our mouth. Okay? No, beside that, millions of people, like in Syria, like in Libya, already being killed, innocent people. You have blood on their hands. So this is more than just an election, Ken. I really believe that. This is the test between good and evil. And I'm not even saying that Trump has all the answers. As I said, this is not about politics. This is about now we have a serious, corrupted criminal. If people vote for her, you put your signature under that sin. That's my opinion. I stand behind every word. So I'll give you the floor, Ken. Go ahead.
Okay, Luca, I'm going to have to, I don't know how long we've been on, but I'm going to have to let you take over because my phone's going dead here on me. I didn't have my charger with me.
Okay, listen, I thank you, first of all. And by the way, thank you for taking the time to go to Oregon, to follow in all these trials, to do all you do on your dime. You are a man that you right now is retired. You could spend all your time with your lady, with your family, just minding your business, and you take your savings, your Social Security, and you go out. And I really appreciate what you're doing. I'm so proud to call you my friend, and hope I'm your friend too. And I want to give you, of course, the opportunity to say your website, please. Go ahead.
Yes, it's gmnken.com. gmnken.com.
All right.
Really? Luke, I really appreciate you having me on today, and you have the rest of a good show.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Ken from Michigan. By the way, I met Ken. This is so amazing. I really believe things happen for a reason. The day of this famous Nevada historical day where the American people exercised their First Amendment in front of this agency called the BLM. 2013, April the 12th, okay? And Ken was with me. I was there as a reporter, and Ken was me as an American person exercising his First Amendment. I still remember when he was bleeding out of his head. He fell. He fell because he was coming down from the highway, and there is this big slope going down to this area where there was the barricade of the BLM people, and of course the other side there were the American people. And Ken, he fell down, and he was bleeding, and he didn't stop. He kept going there. So I tell you, it's been amazing. This is an amazing journey. That's what really makes, for me, this American experience amazing. To become an American, it is not just something on paper. You got your passport. No. It's living and exercising the principles and the rights the people before us fought and died for, to give us this opportunity today. And the only idea was, these people died and fought for the revolutionary idea to all humans supposed to be equals, that we're supposed to have rights. The government cannot deprive us. And all we had to do was just to stand behind and maintain this great sacrifice they did. No, we didn't have to fight. We didn't have to bleed. We didn't have to kill anybody. All we had to do was just to stand up and say, no, you do not touch those. Guess what? We'll almost let them go. But I still believe there is hope. That's why we're here. That's why I believe people like the Bundys or other people out there, they try to do what you think is right, to remind to this generation and to America, and also more important to the freaking government, that the government works for us, and we have a constitution that we all supposed to obey. Okay, that's the idea. The supreme law of the land. All right, little break, and then we come back. We have more news, and we're gonna have something very disturbing and disgusting. The United Nations now, they are coming. This is official in North Dakota to be the savior. They want to save us now. Guess what? I really believe this is another part of the plan. Problem, reaction, solution. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll look at that. Hey, you. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve a break. Enjoy a moment of indulgence. It's time for Zanna Coffee. Guilt-free pleasure. Zanna Coffee is the organic coffee to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Only the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world that I selected. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Get your coffee bag now. Don't be cheap. Life is too short, and you deserve the best. Zanna Coffee. Here we go. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll look at Zanna. This is the second part of the first hour. I had with me Ken Rhodes from Michigan. That, is not only a friend, but also is a great activist. And he is an eyewitness, not only on what happened there in Oregon, and of course in Nevada. He was there. But also he attended most of the important parts of the trial. And I'm so glad that he was able to at least relay to me all this information as a first eyewitness. Now, we were talking about what's happening right now in North Dakota. Let me tell you something. Before even we go into who's right, who's wrong, okay? And I think I told you last time, this is way beyond the rule of law. I'm not saying that every time somebody protests is right. No. But the point is, everything's supposed to be dealt accordingly, okay? If somebody's peaceful, somebody's not bringing, let's say, shooting at you, you shouldn't start to come down with tanks and with rabid dogs and unleashing the dogs and shooting plastic bullets or rubber bullets and arresting journalists just because they are reporting the news. This is called fascism. Seriously. So now, first of all, that's the most important thing, in my opinion. Regardless where you side on the issue with the North Dakota pipeline, I believe, by the way, in this case, the Indians, according to what I read, they're right. This is my opinion. I'm no lawyer. I'm not there, but I tell you what I read, I think they're right. But regardless, you don't go out there and start to arrest journalists. You don't start to arrest people just because peacefully protest. And more important, you don't come down with tanks. Do you see the photos? They're coming down with, not even in Iraq, they have such a display of force. Armored vehicles, sound cannons, machine guns. I mean, looking like out of a Star Wars movie, like the stormtroopers. I mean, this is insane. Seriously. And you know what I believe is also more insane? That this is not happening by accident. Nothing happens by accident. Think about it. We have now, of course, the natives, the Sioux, ask the UN to intervene. I respect the native, I don't want to call them native, because if you're born in America, you're native too, okay? The Indians, okay? That's the way they're called. The Indians' rights to be sovereign. That's supposed to be their right. And they can call even the Martians from Mars if they want to be helped. That's their right. After all, they're supposed to be the sovereign nation, okay? But I say something. The United Nations have no business to put even one of their stinky foot on U.S. soil. I don't even care if it's like an inspector or dressed like a CPA. I don't care. And for sure, if you come here with any type of uniform or colors or military equipment, you have no business. Okay? So the Sioux must be very careful because they may be in good faith try to defend themselves or try to find some help. At the same time, I remind, on America, this is our soil. The United Nations, they have no business. They have no business to be here. And I believe this is part of the plan. We already been listening the news and the videos, YouTubes, and all these witnesses and all this conspiracy the last few years, all these armored vehicles, and now they were the fuel vehicles of the United Nations troops in US. Now I told you last week my other conspiracy. They're coming out more and more now that some of these informants, maybe they're not just regular FBI informants. Maybe they come from a group that was sent here a long time ago to prepare for the new America, for the new change that Obama wants. That's the reality. They need to disarm us. They need to completely eradicate people like us that we refuse to submit to this global socialism called also New World Order. They need to take us out, and they will need help, because I'm sure that many American soldiers or even police, even if they've been brainwashed, they will not follow their evil agenda. So they need somebody else. So that's why I say we need to follow very carefully what's happening in North Dakota and start to understand that now we are all Indians. Indians that have been put in cages without bars the last 200 years or whatever, called reservations, where you have no rights. You surrender your rights. You're supposed to be sovereign, but the moment that you accept a little paycheck from the federal government, you become a slave, and you have no Bill of Rights. You cannot even exercise your Second Amendment right, for sure. That's a fact. So that's the point. That's the point. So I'm saying, be ready, because these elections that's going to be in a few days, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. And as I said, Trump may not have all the answers, but let me tell you something. What's happening right now, it is beyond Trump. And even if Trump can give us a little bit of a breaking, stopping this bleeding, we are bleeding like 1,000 gallons per second. There is a big hemorrhage. We need a tourniquet immediately. And for sure, we know black and white that Hillary is the continuation of Obama's plan. That's a fact. She told us out loud. Trump, you may say, I'm not sure. After all, we don't have a really political record of what he's been doing politically. He's a businessman. He's been kissing ass to both sides. We know that. But maybe now he wants to have a chance. I don't know. But for sure, Hillary is complete death. And let me play it for you, this little segment, because I tell you, this is so important. And then I only say, I'm not telling you what to vote for. I'm not that arrogant. I'm not here to tell you my suggestion. You do what you want. Use your brain. Use your heart. I'm just giving you the facts. Okay? All I say, though, if you vote for Hillary, you are my enemy. As simple as that. Simple as that. You have the right, of course. But don't you ever dare to come close to me, even say hi to me. I beg you, because I don't want to spit on your face. And I'm a civil person, but I'll tell you in face, you're a piece of trash. You're a worm, you're a coward. Because if you want to kill me, just squeeze the trigger yourself. Okay? Just do it. Don't let the government do it for you. Because that's what will happen when the government, through Hillary, will try to destroy completely our Second Amendment. And if you say, oh no, it's never going to happen, like Obama, they don't want to take our guns. The only reason why he wasn't able to do it, because we didn't give him a chance, because we fought back. Of course, now with the new Supreme Court justice to be replaced, we'll see how this all play. Let me play this piece of trash called Hillary Rodham Clinton, and then we go in our number 2. Interesting interview with Mr. Gambino. Can you believe that? I have a Gambino on the show with me. Listen to this New World Order whore called Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Have already started taking on the NRA. We have got to have I do not believe that the NRA represents most gun owners. They sure don't represent the majority of Americans. But they have so intimidated elected members of Congress and other legislative bodies that these people are passing the most absurd laws. The idea that you could have an open carry permit with an AK-47 over your shoulder walking up and down the aisles of a supermarket is just despicable. So I'm going to speak out. I'm going to do everything I can to rally people against this pernicious, corrupting influence of the NRA. And we're going to do whatever we can. I was proud when my husband took them out, and we were able to ban assault weapons, but he had to put a sunset on. So 10 years later, of course, Bush wouldn't agree to reinstate them. We've got to go after this. And here again, the Supreme Court is wrong on the Second Amendment. And I am going to make that case every chance I get. So I will need your help on that.
Yeah, that's the bottom line, you know. That's black and white, and she wants the Australian type gun control. That means there is no more gun. There are no more guns for Americans. Okay, guess what? That's going to be a big problem, and that's why I said if you believe or if you vote for Hillary, blood will be on your hands. Simple as that. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to say things to impress you. It's true. Many of us will die, and if you like that, that's fine. As I said, you are not my friend. Simple as that. Now, let's be happy. Let's celebrate life till we have it. If you want to support this show, I really beg you. Because this is not like the government that point the gun at your face to steal your money and then so Obama can spend $4 million to play golf with what is his name? Tiger Woods. Can you believe that? $4 million to have a little game of golf with Tiger Woods. One game. How do you feel there, hypocrites? Scum. Who voted for that bastard? How do you feel? Oh, it's for the people. Meanwhile, how many people we would have fed with $4 million of our tax dollar? How many? Hypocrites. You know, that man is a devil and you are worshiping the devil. That's what I really believe. So anyway, regardless, this is not the government. I ask you for money. I don't steal your money and I need your support. And it's very simple. If you want to support, there are many ways. Number one, go to www.zanna.us. ZANNA.us. 99 cents. You can download any of my songs. I have more than 100 songs I have wrote since I came to America. By the way, this is my 18 years anniversary. Thank God I made it here. I'm grateful. I am. Even if I'm living in hell right now and I'm facing hell, but I'm proud to do it with you, American people. Maybe that was my purpose in life. I don't know. All I'm saying, I'm proud to be here and to stand the line against this tyranny, this scum. That's the bottom line. So, Zanna.us. Also, you can download at Zanna.us. There is the link. Go straight to Amazon or go to Amazon.com. There is my book, Lyrics and Poems. The collection of all my lyrics I wrote, my published songs, also some of my poems and my thoughts. If you love Obama, if you're a government worshipper, guess what? Don't buy the book. You're not going to like it. If you believe in freedom, and if you're not offended by some sort of a strong language, yes, I remind you, it's a explicit language. Yes, I appreciate your support. Just $2.99. And doing so, I remind you, we can keep this show free, and I don't need to beg for sponsor. All right, ready for hour number 2 with Mr. Gambino. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Do not go away.